I'm going to tell you a story about my own life. I'm a health coach, okay? And I want people to think of me as being a healthy guy. But the fact is, the reason people become health coaches is because they have problems and they're looking for solutions. So I became a health coach. One of the reasons, I had lower back pain since I was a teenager. I had thrown my back out in a very embarrassing way. I sneezed so hard when I was inside a bathroom that I fell to the ground. I could not get up. It took me 30, 45 minutes, can't remember exactly. It took me a while to maneuver myself to be able to get out of the bathroom. And from that point on, I had serious misalignment problems in my lower back. I had pretty constant pain. For example, sometimes I'd throw my back out like that and I'd be afraid to move because of the pain. I was like, nobody wants to inflict pain on themselves. So if you twist or try to get up or stand up and it's painful, you don't do it. You go to bed and you stay in bed for 3 weeks. Well, that's what happened to me. My progression in learning about my body, the physiology of how the nerves, the bones, the structure, the spine, all that, I was introduced to chiropractic. I'm sure you've heard of that. It was a great boon to me. It was a great help. They could manipulate the lower back and create space for those nerves not to be ganged up on each other and being pressed upon by the bone. So that was really wonderful. All right, rolling. But there's not always a chiropractor around. For example, when I was in China, they've never heard of chiropractic in China, but they do have acupuncturists, which I was also not really willing to try because I thought the sanitation wasn't quite up to standards. But having been informed by a Chinese person that this Chinese doctor who comes once a week to the complex, he's really good. So I went to see him. He felt around, manipulated me, put me on my side, did a twist, and popped my back into perfect alignment, and he charged me $2. So that was really amazing. The next step in my journey was learning about yoga. One of these days, I'm going to interview my first yoga teacher and see what a beautiful woman she is and how passionate she is about yoga and as a means of keeping the body what? Healthy. So I started doing yoga and I found that it was an amazing benefit that I didn't even have to go to the chiropractor anymore. I could do those manipulations on myself by loosening up with a few yoga postures. Finally, the incidents didn't abate entirely, and another time I had joined a gym. I didn't show up for 2 or 3 months. The trainer who had signed me up said, "Where you been?" when I did get back. And I said I had thrown my back out and it was a problem. I couldn't exercise. He said, "Have you ever read any books by Dr. John Sarno?" And the Sarno. I said, "No, never heard of him." He was the chair of the pain department at New York Presbyterian Hospital for 40 years, knows everything about backs. And 80% of patients he would cure without laying a finger on them, without doing any surgery, and without medication. You know what he did? He sent them to therapy to talk about their childhood. It's a fact that our mental faculties are so designed as to telling you that we want to stay away from pain. Well, the subconscious mind knows that, and it will distract us from serious emotional pain by giving us physiological pain in our body. The person who has the back surgery, a year later they come back for the knee surgery. A year later they're back for the hip surgery. And then they need to do the neck. The pain just keeps cycling around, and a lot of it, I'm not saying all of it, a lot of it has to do with our mental ability, our mental faculties in assessing where we're at emotionally and spiritually. So you've heard of people holding on to pain, holding on to grudges. This is like self-poisoning. That's what that is. If you don't keep your mental attitude in a correct state where you are at peace in your heart with your mother, with your father, with your neighbors, with your boss, you are going to have pain in your back, in your knee, wherever the weak spot is in your body. That's the first place that distracting pain comes in order to keep you distracted from the real issue. Once you solve the real issue of, you know what, my father was pretty bad and I'm not going to take after him. And I love you, Dad, but I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to be my own man. You make that peace in your heart with the way you were raised from birth until you were 7 years old, those formative years. You make peace with that, you're going to enjoy a really much healthier life. If you have a question that we have not answered up till now, put the question down below. We will make a video for you.